In a quiet town still holding on to old prejudices, a spark ignited where least expected. Jonathan Harper, a prominent white lawyer, first laid eyes on Evelyn Carter, an activist with fire in her voice and hope in her heart. What began as a courtroom encounter would soon become something far more powerful. When Jonathan chose love over legacy, his world shook. His family, rooted in tradition and image, refused to understand. But Jonathan stood firm, knowing that the path of truth was never easy. With every step forward, they shed the expectations others had forced upon them. Jonathan no longer needed approval, what he needed stood right beside him. In stolen moments of peace, their love grew deeper. Against the shadows of hate, they built something bright and unshakable. Willow Creek spoke in hushed tones, not ready to face its own reflection. But Jonathan and Evelyn no longer hid. They walked through the town with their heads held high. Traditions ran deep in Willow Creek, but change had arrived, bold and unapologetic. At the Harvest Festival, silence was louder than words. It was time to speak, not just in court, but to the hearts of the people. Jonathan's words echoed with conviction, shattering comfort with truth. From the shadows came voices of reason. Martha Lewis, once silent, now stood beside them. Even the oldest roots could bear new fruit. The night brought more than shadows, it brought warning. A broken window, a threatening note, and flashing police lights. But as they stood together, unshaken, the message was clear. Fear would not win. Hate tried to knock them down, but their foundation was stronger than fear. Every threat only sharpened their resolve. Justice had a new face and a stronger voice. Evelyn stood not just for herself, but for every silenced soul. And in the crowd, Jonathan saw not just a partner, but a force that would help reshape the law itself. Little by little, the tide turned. Policies changed, but more importantly, so did hearts. The children of Willow Creek carried the torch forward, lighting a path their parents once feared to tread. Forgiveness bloomed in the unlikeliest places. Even walls built over generations could crumble with grace. From resistance came a movement. From pain came purpose. The people stood not as neighbors but as one. Hatred had struck at their sanctuary, trying to silence what it could not understand. But in the ashes, they found strength. Together, they would rebuild, not just walls, but a stronger, louder message of love. What started as love became law. A new day for Willow Creek, and for towns just like it, had begun. Time slowed beside the water. They remembered every fight, every tear, every triumph. Their journey, once uncertain, had become a legacy. The town that once watched in silence now sang with them. Celebration filled the air, a song of progress, unity, and joy. The town that once watched in silence now sang with them. Celebration filled the air, a song of progress, unity, and joy. In the stillness of winter, they walked forward, no longer alone, no longer afraid. Their future unwritten, but full of light.